Hi, my name is Jenny. I first would like to say thank you for taking the time to listen to my proposal. I feel that the information that I'm going to share with you will be particularly useful in affirming the validity of the group. I'm going to address some group specific practicalities and objectives. And by the end of my talk, my hope is that you feel strongly and confidently um, moving forward in my facilitation of this group that I've chosen to bring to light. Moving forward, we are currently in the eye of this relentless opioid epidemic. The first wave began in 2007 and it has only escalated from there. According to the National Center for Disease Control and Prevention, overdose has claimed more than 112,000 lives from May of 2022 to May of 2023. This figure amounts to 306 drug-related deaths each day. From 2015 to 2019, 3,296 of the lives claimed were adolescents, ranging from as young as 10 years old to 19 years old. This figure has also only risen tremendously since 2019, forcing upon us a new norm for our nation, one of parents burying their children. It is described as a national emergency and nobody is immune. I would like to propose a grief support group for these individuals, these parents who have lived through the unimaginable. My main goal for the group is to offset the stigma associated with losing a loved one, particularly their own child, to the disease of addiction, by providing a safe space for a very vital therapeutic factor to emerge called universality. Universality refers to the phenomenon that through connecting and talking openly about their loss, members will feel less alone in their grief and see that others are also battling the same feelings and circumstances. Addiction is a very stigmatized disease in the United States. Addiction, like cancer, is a disease. However, the societal reaction evoked from a death by an overdose is far different than the sympathy, the reaction received from a death caused by cancer. Another main goal from this grief support group is to, as the facilitator, share bits of psychoeducational information. This includes coping skills, mindfulness exercises, psychoeducational bits all centered around the topic of grief, providing members with new facts, statistics, skills that they likely are unaware of until this point. Imparting information in a psychoeducational group is essential to offsetting feelings of guilt and shame and isolation. And my hope is that through learning about the situation they're facing, the stigmas and the negative feelings associated with the loss and the grief will start to become sensible. Moving forward, my last but equally important objective for the group is to instill hope within its members. These parents have just taken the ultimate loss, and I can only sympathize with how devastated and empty they must feel. I can imagine that finding the will to do anything productive is severely hindered. My hope for the group is that through seeing other members, more seasoned members who joined the group a year ago, I hope that will inspire newer members. Not only will these new members see older members thrive in the group setting, but this also emphasizes the power of the group. And the new members will feel more enabled to help themselves during this dark time. The goal is that through association and communion with members at varying stages of grief, a hope will be instilled that keeps the members coming back to group and the group especially strong. In this next bit, I would like to share with you some of the practical and more logistical considerations for the group, including the group size, the group composition, the frequency and duration of the group meetings, and the screening and pre-group process. So starting off, I've decided that this group should be an open group, meaning that it is ongoing with no set end or discharge date. Similarly to NA or NA, members can join at any period and they can stay in the group for life. Tragedy can strike at any time, and I feel strongly that the open admission will encourage members to engage in their individual healing process, as well as provide a stable, reliable, and consistent place of safety and support to attend each week for as long as members see fit for themselves. I also feel that an open group will allow for a more diverse group, one where long-term members could, instill the hope in newer members, and things like that. Members will, however, need to undergo a screening process prior to their acceptance into the group. The screening process is not in place to exclude individuals, but it is in place to protect the group and ensure that its members are a suitable fit for the group treatment modality. After the screening process, each member accepted will need to attend a one-on-one pre-group meeting with the facilitator, which would be me, before they attend group for the first time. During the pre-group meeting, each member will be allotted ample time to express personal concerns that they may have about entering a group, as well as to go over the very important group agreements. The group agreements are rules. They are in place to establish norms regarding behavior during group times. Group agreements address boundaries, and they provide structure and direction, and they really are a vital component into creating a safe environment for the therapeutic factors to emerge. Some examples of agreements that I find reasonable for this specific group could be: the group agrees to always start and end on time. Phones, electronic devices, they must be put up during group meetings. And that members agree to maintain respect within their words and actions for other members at all times. Agreements are essential to creating safety, because without them, members will not know what to expect or have any guidelines to reference on how to conduct themselves in a group. Agreements also, they aim to be trauma-informed. With this understanding, they are in place to ensure that the group is, in fact, a safe place for all members to come. The pre-group meeting is essential for members to attend. The main goal of the pre-group meeting is to inform, familiarize, and just ease the anxieties, the individual anxieties that people may have before the group commences. So the composition of the group will include parents, married, single, divorced, widowed, separated, all parents, any parents that have lost their children to overdose. These parents, they can attend together, they can attend separately, but all individuals that are present during the group meetings must be screened, and they must attend the pre-group meeting prior to admittance. The group size will actually continually fluctuate since the group will be an open format, and the configuration of the group will be equal chairs of the same model, the same make, and they will be formed in a circle formation. So due to the open format of the group, the number of chairs will fluctuate as well from meeting to meeting, as opposed to a closed group where there is an expected number of members in attendance from each week. The circle formation, I find that it allows optimal member-to-member interaction because it limits physical barriers between the members. The circle should be, it's up to the group facilitator to make the circle as near perfect as it can be, not only to form or to serve as an equalizer, but to also provide the facilitator to the opportunity to note, if a member has the tendency to back away from the circle or withdraw from the circle. The circle configuration allows the facilitator to effectively scan the group at all times. My belief is that scanning is one of the most important techniques that a group leader can possess, because it is through scanning that a group leader can successfully bridge members to each other. I will speak more about my philosophy on scanning and bridging just a little bit later on in this video, when I address my personal philosophies and approaches regarding group. I feel that this group should meet weekly. The day that I have chosen for this group is Wednesdays, right in the middle of the week, from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. The day and the time of the group will never change, providing the members with maximum consistency and predictability. The group will, for the same reasoning of reliability, it will be held in the same place, the same room, each week. And this location is at the local Methodist church. Directions will be provided in the pre-group meeting and scanning. The individual pre-group meeting, as I mentioned before, will also be held in this location in order to familiarize members with the room and the building and the location prior to the start of group. So that mostly covers the practicalities of it. Now I would like to speak a little bit about my philosophy of a group, of being a group facilitator. So my prerogative and primary role as the facilitator is to provide a safe space for members to be vulnerable with other members. I feel that the group facilitator adopting an empathetic and genuine concerned curiosity for members is vital for the birth of the therapeutic factors that I mentioned previously. For a grief-specific group, I have to be mindful and trauma-informed at all times in my practice. My philosophy is to avoid becoming leader-centric and to never come across as confrontational. I am there to guide and facilitate the connections between members through bridging. Bridging is a technique that is vital to creating the cohesion of the group, which is connectedness, cohesion and connectedness, interchangeable. Through scanning, I will be able to acknowledge the reactions being had in the present moment, looking for body language cues and other signs of reaction in members. And through scanning, it helps to reinforce and form connections between the leader and the other members. So bridging is any technique used to connect members where there was not once a relation. Bridging can be as simple as noticing a reaction being had by one member while another member is speaking and promptly and curiously inquiring about it. There should be ample opportunities for bridging within the natural flow of the group, but these chances can be easily missed if the facilitator is not keen on scanning. A leader-centric and confrontational facilitator sabotages the group's power by creating a dynamic of an unhealthy dependency on solely the group leader. Members will look only to the leader for guidance when the true power of the group modality is within the other members, not the leader. If a leader is confrontational, members will not feel safe to share their feelings or be truthful and open during meetings. An empathetic, non-judgmental, and curious leader who is genuinely concerned for the well-being and success of the group as a whole and its interpersonal functions is what I strive to be. And through my education thus far, I feel confident in portraying consistently and effectively. I feel the most important quality for a group leader to possess individually is empathy as well as genuineness. A group leader should never put on a front or be in any way fake. An effective group leader is themselves. They are at heart people who are empathetic, genuine, non-judgmental, selfless, and curious. The process of such a tremendous and tragic loss can seem hopeless. I want this support group to exist for parents to have a place to relate to other parents who have been through this unspeakable devastation. Addiction is a family disease. It does not affect only the addicted individual, but the family equally. In the event of an overdose, it is common for parents to feel helpless, hopeless, and like they have failed as their role as a parent. This grief support group is, in my opinion, the answer for these individuals. Opposed to individualized therapy, group therapy is among one of the best resources for treatment of addiction and addiction-related issues because it involves the member in a sense of belonging and support, which they were often lacking to begin with. Addiction is a breeding ground for internal shame and stigma and neglect. Treating affected individuals in a group setting promotes social expansion, connectedness, and a sense of belonging. Psychologist Joanne Haran stated one time, and it's stuck with me ever since, that the opposite of addiction is not abstinence, it is connection. Thank you for listening to my group proposal, and I hope that I have provided you with all the information you need to proceed confidently with your decision. My hope is that through my talk today, you have seen how beneficial this specific group could be, and that you decide to move forward with putting it into action. Thank you. Bye-bye.